Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to the next movie review. I know I'm doing stuff for a month, but I just wanted to get a couple movie reviews in. So, I says by the time this is up though, I just you already know my thoughts on the She-Hulk trailer for the TV show of Disney Plus, right? I said how much I don't like Marvel anymore, and Disney, especially Disney, and and the She-Hulk trailer looked like shit, especially how the way the She-Hulk looked, the CGI, especially the face, but then, of course. And like I said, I hated every Marvel film that came out last year. This just proves it even further now. And it's a shame because I liked the first Doctor Strange movie from 2016. I liked the first Doctor Strange. After seeing this, let alone what seeing from the She-Hulk trailer, I don't want to see more. I'm burnt out on Marvel now. I don't want to see more. I don't give a shit about the fourth Thor film or the rest upward, or the TV shows. Like, what else they doing? Well, I don't give a first. I'm not really gonna want to watch the She-Hulk TV show as well. So, you already know my thoughts on that video. So, but getting back to this, Doctor Strange in the multiverse of madness, or I call it the multiverse of bullshit. And it is sad that Doctor Strange doesn't barely do anything in this movie. I mean, he's furthermore treated more as an idiot, more than like how he was in No Way Home, which I also did not like. That he was treated as an idiot in that movie, and he barely doesn't do anything in this movie, in his own movie, where he doesn't defeat the villain, the Scarlet Witch. He doesn't do that. And people always have to help him up all this stuff. He can't do it all on his own, just like, what in Peter Parker in the No Way Home film. So, but this is more focused, and I think the Scarlet Witch has more screen time. I felt like it should have more screen time focused on her more than Doctor Strange. Okay. Where our story start with this? Okay. Sam Raimi, he's directed this film. Thing is, though, originally, Scott Derrickson, who directed the first Doctor Strange, he was originally going to come back and do this. To do the sequel. But he left due to creative differences, because he was fighting with Marvel over creative differences, because he wanted to make more of a straightforward scary horror film. Because Scott Derrickson, I liked Deliver Us from Evil with Eric Bana. The Exorcism of Emily Rose, didn't mind. It was alright though. Of course, he has that upcoming one he's did with Ethan Hawke called The Black Phone. That's coming up later too. So, yeah, pretty soon I would say. But Scott Derrickson, I like Deliver Us from Evil. That was more of a supernatural extra type movie, but it's done from a cop's point of view. That was interesting about it. And I know his first one we did was the fifth Hellraiser film, Inferno. So, but he wanted to do more of a scary horror film, But of course, if it's Kevin Feige or whoever up in Marvel screwed him over, they said no. Basically, I'm tired of the studios interfering with the directors, because the thing is that this is not the first time this happened. Back in 2015 with the first Ant-Man movie, originally Edgar Wright was going to direct it. But he stepped down because they'll pretty much for the same thing as well, probably. And of course, we know all about the 2015 Fantastic Four movie that Josh Trank directed. Of course, that got because of studio interference as well. But a lot of people hate that movie anyway, though. But I'm just saying the point is studio interference again. And so yeah, so start. Although he did not direct this film, for this year, he's credited as an executive producer for this film because he was originally supposed to direct it. I would see. It would have been interesting to see if Edgar Wright originally directed Ant-Man. I want to see how Scott Derrickson would have came back to do this one, But no, because it can't be too scary. More of a scary horror film. No, because it's Disney, so you can't do that. Scare the kids. I'm tired of the freaking studio interference. Let them direct it with the way how they want to. And Sam Raimi. Oh, this movie, even it says, it's still going to be the scariest one. I didn't see hardly anything horror-like about it. Especially Sam Raimi, the last one was a good thing he did. Drag Me to Hell sucked, which the poster gave away the whole entire movie right there. Oz the Great and Powerful, the prequel to Wizard of Oz. Of course, the Spider-Man trilogy, yeah. Spider-Man 2 was the best one of the trilogy. The first one... See, it's putting me to sleep now. I just want to talk about this movie. The first Spider-Man... Of course, Willem Dafoe over-the-top hamming up as Green Goblin, but... Spider-Man 2 was the best one of the trilogy because Alfred Molina I liked. I thought it was better than the first one. Spider-Man 3 I hated. Emo Parker just doing his little freaking dancey thing. I don't know why people think that's such a cool thing, But there's more to it though. I hate Spider-Man 3 besides that part though. But what else? I mean, probably the last good thing he did was Darkman. And that was back in 1990. I like the Evil Dead movies. I enjoyed Darkman. That's a superhero of his own that he created. Other than that, though, what else? What are the good ones that? I'm trying to remember what other ones he did after Darkman, before Spider-Man. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember though, but. But I don't see anything horror thing, or mostly horror thing I like about it though, for the most part. And then the cast. Okay, before I say anything more today, what are positives I could say about it? I mean, okay, positives I could say when Doctor Strange and America Chavez, when they're traveling to multiple worlds, like there's some bit of creative different scenes where each multiverse. There's some bit of creative quick scenes that they did with it. Like you go to one world, they're like part of a cartoon, right? Or another world that they turn into paint. Or when he was going to another one after when we saw like dinosaurs back then, one like. You saw in the trailer where he's like his face is like turned to blocks and stuff, but the whole thing with him transitioning to one multiverse and into another, like we saw there though, that was kind of a little bit of a creative thing. But the thing is though, at the same time they don't go full enough with the multiverse. The only multiverses he goes to basically were like two. One had the world where the Illuminati was, and the other one where Doctor Strange goes and meets with another version of Doctor Strange where he fights him. That's basically the multiverse he goes to, those two ones. I mean, all multiverses, they only basically two, and speaking of multiverse, all the people who are so excited seeing all the cameos, my brother thought this was going to be like the cameos of the Marvel movies, the dream movie of cameos. My brother said this, so if people were saying the same thing, they'd be very disappointed. Wolverine, Deadpool, Ghost Rider, or other different version of characters that maybe we're supposed to see, you know. But the thing is, though, if everyone's so excited to see all these cameos, you know, you're not gonna get that. You're gonna be very disappointed in it. The only cameos we saw was the Illuminati. That was it. But anyway, just yeah, and the film was over 2 hours long, of course, as expected, because every superhero film has to be 2 hours long. And it was a waste of most of a creative idea. You can go all these multiverses, and basically they go just two, except that the scene they were skipping over to one after another, like the ones that was kind of creative, you know, I could say. But anyway, it opens up with a part of a multiverse where a different version of Doctor Strange is with America Chavez, which America Chavez. I probably know that as a character from the comics, though, but as I don't know. I mean, she didn't do much for me, but she has this power that she doesn't control. She goes to one multiverse to another one. I think the name was just probably silly in itself for me. I know it's a character in the comic books. For me, it was kind of silly name. But anyway, they're both escaping from this monster, and they're trying to get to this book called the Book of Ashanti, and they get chased by this monster, and I think this was called Defender Doctor Strange, you know, from the Pops or whatever. He gets injured, eventually dies as America Chavez goes to the universe that we know of. And Doctor Strange, Stephen Strange, he's attending Christine's wedding. That once again played by Rachel McAdams. Like on the first movie, how they work together, but you think they kind of lovey-dovey. But Doctor Strange said, you know, basically, you know, brushed her off. You know, basically kind of broke up with her in the first movie. You know, like how he said, "Oh, like what? Like you." Oh, this is the part where you apologize. This is the part where you leave. Yeah, so she's getting married. The guy who played Dr. West, Michael Stuhlbarg, he's in it for that one scene talking to Doctor Strange. That's it. Even though his name is on the poster, but he's only in for that one scene right there at the wedding. That's it. And he's asking afterwards. He says if he's happy. Basically, he's not though because he still liked her. Then this one-eyed creature comes in. This octopus attacking America Chavez. Doctor Strange does this one thing he does on his own, basically. You know, with a buzz. You saw in the trailer. The thing throws a bus. He makes like a big buzz saw, cuts it in half. Wong helps out, and the jokes I didn't think in this film were not that funny either. That's one of the jokes I didn't think they were not that funny. But eventually they defeat the creature. Doctor Strange does the one thing he does by himself. He takes like a magic thing, makes some hands, and impales the creature through the eye with a light pole. And then America Chavez explains so she's from another multiverse. That's her powers. Only when she's scared. That's what she says. And then a nitpick I have, a problem I have with it. It's not a nitpick. It's a problem. They say the Doctor Strange, they mentioned Spider-Man. It probably has to do with Spider-Man. The jokes they say, like, oh, is he a spider? What, does he shoot webs out of his butt? You know, or other places? Like, what? No, or maybe some other places. I mean, what kind of? Yeah, I know they say he's Spider-Man. First of all, how they know about Spider-Man? I thought they forgot. Well, actually, no. It's supposed to be everyone's supposed to get Peter Parker was a Spider-Man, so I take that back though. But they mentioned Spider-Man. Now, by this time, because Doctor Strange and everyone else doesn't know who Peter Parker is as Spider-Man, so I guess I take that back. I guess. But the joke's amazing. Like, oh, does he shoot webs out of his butt or anywhere else? I don't know. Not a funny joke. It wasn't. So then Doctor Strange goes and talks to Wanda. Wants to play by Elizabeth Olsen. And this is basically mostly her movie. I mean, she is, like, has more screen time than Doctor Strange does. And this is after WandaVision because he mentions the town that Wanda took over, what was called West Point or Westview, whatever. So yeah, and I already knew that Wanda was going to be the villain. From the second she said in the trailer, "You break the rules, you become the hero. I do it, I become the enemy." That doesn't seem fair. I already knew she would be the villain because she's after America Chavez with her to use her power to go to one multiverse to be with her kids. The kids that she made up in the WandaVision. And the thing is, this makes me hate. Okay, I saw this with my dad. He did not like the way how they handled Scarlet Witch, making her the villain of this movie. Because when he saw it, he didn't expect her to be the villain, which I already knew that she would be the villain. But he didn't expect that, though. So he did not like the way they handled Scarlet Witch in this movie. That's what he said, my dad. But, yeah, because she still can't... Because this makes me hate the character in WandaVision, because I did not like WandaVision at all, because she makes me unsympathetic to her, because she goes and brainwashes and hypnotizes basically holds a whole town hostage to live in this little fantasy world that she created because of Vision, Oh, she has kids now. Yeah, so basically holding a whole town hostage just to suit your own fantasy needs because you're grieving over a loss of your beloved Vision. And speaking of, that's another problem. Where the hell is Vision? That, in the end of WandaVision, that white one that the army people would send in, but now he has now the memories because the other Vision imprinted the memories of him into that white Vision. Where the hell is that white Vision at this whole entire time? If he has the memories of that Vision from before, wouldn't he now try to find her? Oh Wanda, I'm right here. I'm the guy you love, right? Or something like that. Where is that Vision? Why wouldn't he go to her if he put all those memories into him? I don't know. Seeing that how Vision means so much to Wanda, they would not put him in this movie. So yeah, no sign of Vision anywhere. And like I said, it makes me unsympathetic to Scarlet Witch now because she held a whole town hostage to suit her own fantasy needs for grieving, whatever. Yeah, so even though I lost Vision though, but instead of just mourning, grieving, right, I'm just gonna hold a whole town hostage, and hypnotize everybody, so I can live my own little fantasy world. And she still can't get over. Also, wanting her kids too. So she got a hold of this book called The Darkhold, which we don't know how she got this book. Even at the end of the finale of WandaVision, she was holding the Darkhold. How did she get this book? I have no idea. But it's also known as the Book of the Damned, and she can use it to take America's powers to transfer it to herself to the multiverse and be with her kids. She even puts her conscience into another alternate version of herself. What they call that dream walking. So they basically tell where she's at Cumberbatch, the place where he trained as a sorcerer in the first movie. She goes there. She kills a whole bunch of people. Even though she's, I'm not a monster, whatever. Oh, that's what she says. Oh yeah, and you're killing lots of innocent people. Does that make you a monster? Yeah. And if Captain America was still alive, I'd be so disappointed if Captain America was still alive. But yeah, I'm not a monster. Yep, you just murdered all these innocent people. Because you're now a nutcase now. You're a psychopath nutcase. Want to live in a fantasy world with her children. Oh, that's what a mother does. Yeah. So yeah, then America, when she gets scared, she opens another portal. Doctor Strange pushes her in there, and this is where you get that one creative thing where they go to one multiverse to another one. Like one they become a cartoon, the other one become paint. Interesting concept. Going through one multiverse after another one, and they arrive in this world. And there, I thought it was kind of a stupid idea where this is out in public where everybody can see it. There's this thing where it's called memory lane. You stand on something and you can see one of your memories. So yeah, out in public where everybody can see your own personal memories. Like Doctor Strange sees one where Rachel McAdams as Christine gave him that watch. You know, in the first movie, that watch got cracked. Yeah, there's in this vision where she sees him giving him that watch. And then with America's, where when she was little, of course, when she had 2 moms, because they had to throw that stuff in there, you know. She had 2 moms. And that's another thing about this character. Oh, him pretending that she's gay and all that stuff because she had 2 moms. First of all, I don't give a shit about that, though. But I can see at the same time, it's how you see that stuff being thrown into movies, though. But whatever. Yeah, but so she had 2 moms. But aside that, though, how when she first used her power, is because she got scared by a bee. A bee scared her, and that's what unleashed her power accidentally and sent both her moms to another dimension. Part of the multiverse. She got scared by a freaking bee. Nothing less tragic that happened to her moms. No, but she didn't do it accidentally or otherwise. Well, it was accidental, but the same thing. But it wasn't because she did something else. But she did it because she lost her parents because she got scared by a bee. That's what she sees on her memory lane. And then you got a cameo appearance by Bruce Campbell, because collaborated with Sam Raimi. A guy selling pizza balls, where they assume like, oh, this is in the university, you don't have to pay. Evidently you do, because Bruce Campbell said you get to pay for that. And then Doctor Strange spurts mustard on him, and then makes him start punching himself. Yeah, it's supposed to be a reference to Evil Dead, when his hand goes crazy, right? Yeah, so it's supposed to be punch himself, and the post credits is basically a waste of time, It's just like a 10-second post credit where we see Bruce Campbell still punch himself until he stops and the camera zooms in, and I was waiting for Bruce Campbell to say, "Oh, groovy," but now he says, "Oh, it's finally over now." This movie's finally over. Thank God. Yes, that's your post credits. A waste. It's just it shows like Bruce Campbell saw punch himself. Ooh, whoop-de-doo. What else? And then go back to the sanatorium. There's a statue of him where of Doctor Strange saying he's the Earth's mightiest hero who died defeating Thanos. Ejiofor, from 2012, Serenity, and among other movies too, comes back as Baron Mordo. And of course, when you get there, they drug them with their tea, and then they wake up in containers, and that's where he meets the other version of Christine, Rachel McAdams. And then Doctor Strange gets taken to see the Illuminati. And like I said, everybody who was so excited seeing all these cameos in this movie are going to be very disappointed. No Deadpool or Wolverine or such, though. The only cameos we got to see is the Illuminati. Like, we have Haley Atwell coming back as Peggy Carter. Awesome, she's called Captain Carter, which that was adapted from one of those What If TV series, one of those episodes of What If. What if Peggy Carter got the serum instead of Steve Rogers? So yeah, that's actually brought to life. So yeah, we see her as Captain Carter. Ashton Mount, who played Black Bolt from that travesty series of the Inhumans, that travesty TV show of the Inhumans, well, he comes back as Black Bolt. And I will say, another positive I can say about it, Black Bolt's costume is dead on accurate. Looks exactly how it is from the comics. The costume itself is dead on accurate. Even my brother is in agreement with that. Yeah, Black Bolt's costume is dead on accurate. I think it's one of the most accurate costumes I've seen in the MCU. So yeah, that's another positive you can say. Then we have Captain Marvel. I think it's played by the same actress who was also in WandaVision, who will later become Captain Marvel. I think that's the same actress. And then we got and then finally another introduced to the MCU, Reed Richards of the Fantastic Four is now finally making an appearance. Reed Richards, and he's played by John Krasinski. Now, John Krasinski, actor and director, which also in real life he's married to Emily Blunt, which they both starred together in A Quiet Place, which also John Krasinski also directed, as well as he directed in A Quiet Place Part 2. He plays Reed Richards. And this stupid thing where, they say that they see a bigger threat than Scarlet Witch, and Captain Marvel says, we can handle your Scarlet Witch. Yeah, when that fight later comes, you can handle her, alright. Yeah, sure. And once again with the jokes, like it's referring to the Fantastic Four, and Stephen Strange goes, what? Did you guys chart in the 60s? Yeah, because that's where the Joker. I think that the Fantastic Four came out in the 60s. I didn't think that was funny. And then they say that the biggest, but Captain Marvel said, we can handle your little witch. Yeah, when the way that battle goes, you can't. You can't handle her, clearly. And then the biggest cameo ever that when I saw it, everyone was applauding for. Patrick Stewart comes back as Charles Xavier, and I will say another positive I can say is the costume itself is pretty much another dead on accurate, probably, because he's in the yellow wheelchair that he looks like from the X-Men cartoon. The yellow chair, the green suit he wore. And yes, you even have, as soon as he enters the room, you have that piece of that X-Men cartoon theme. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, as soon as he walks into the room, Charles Xavier walks into the room with his chair, you have that theme from the X-Men playing. That's another thing that's supposed to rely on nostalgic. And yeah, so I forgot to mention the score is done by Danny Elfman. I mean, Danny Elfman's done better. I mean, I love his score for Batman, Sleepy Hollow. Danny Elfman's done better. But anyway, Patrick Stewart tells him that the alternate version of him died because he got hold of the Darkhold to defeat Thanos, and he was too dangerous, so they killed him. So Patrick Stewart shows him the vision of that happening to his other self, and when Scarlet Witch possesses an alternate version of herself, defeating these Ultron bots. This is the first time we see Fantastic Four debuted in the MCU. And when he comes in, okay, he's supposed to be the smartest man alive. My ass he is. Because he goes and blatantly tells Black Bolt's ability, and henceforth why Scarlet Witch uses her powers to give him no mouth, and it makes his head explode from the inside. Smartest man alive, my ass. Where you blatantly tell your comrade's ability. This film is making me so sleepy right now. This film is really making me sleepy right now. But must press on. So yeah, so he gives him no mouth and makes his head explode from the inside, and then Reed Richards, he gets turned into a pile of noodles. And it's funny how the first two people to be killed by her are the guys. And that's another thing. Scarlet Witch's power is so like very loosey-goosey or wishy-washy, whatever. Because since she's so powerful to do that to Black Bolt and Mr. Fantastic, and why does she have all this trouble dealing with especially a woman with a shield and a cosmic person, basically a cosmic being? Yeah, but she's so powerful she can do all the stuff we've seen in previous movies, but yet she has a little trouble battling someone with a shield, basically. I mean, like I said, they're very loosey-goosey with her abilities. But anyway. Yeah, that's an issue that I have with that. She's so powerful, but yet she can use her powers to like certain limits, or she can do before she does other things. I have no idea. But she kills Captain Carter, cuts her down with her own shield, and then has a fallen statue on crushing Captain Marvel. And then with Patrick Stewart, tries to get in her mind, but it's too late. The evil her just, you kind of freeze frame it, kind of like he snaps his lower jaw off. A lot of people say it's the neck, but if you look at it really, really slow motion, you freeze frame it, you can see it is kind of like the guy's jaw. So yeah, so Patrick Stewart dies for the third time. The first time in X-Men 3: The Last Stand, and then the last time in Logan, and now he has to die again now. Dumb. And so, what else? So that's defeating them so easily. And then, but Doctor Strange, he has a lame fight with Mordo, which that was kind of an unneeded battle. So that fight with him and Mordo, pointless, and it's dumb. And Scarlet Witch, basically, most of the prime focus is on her, where she tries her best to try to get her wants her kids back, but after the book got destroyed by one of the sorcerers, she takes Wong to find out where there's a copy of the words, and they go to this place where these giant CGI creatures bow to her because she's like kind of like a king there. Okay, kind of looks like her. Why it looks exactly like her? But after she kills the Illuminati that easily, Rachel McAdams, that Christine, takes America. They both run, and this is where Doctor Strange needs help once again. Like, there's this door he couldn't open, and Rachel McAdams gives him his watch, which fits in the handle of the door, which he had to ask. He had help. Can't do the things himself. Kind of like the Spider-Man in No Way Home. But yeah, they go to there, get the Book of Ashanti, but it gets ruined, and so then America gets pulled into back to their world. Oh, and the thing you're mentioning, Christine mentioned what universe they're in. The other one, the first one they're in, the universe that we know of, is called 616, which that's supposed to be referenced from the current comic book line, though. And the other one they're in right now is 838. 616 is the current comic book where they're reading, not the multiverse of that universe they're in. And Doctor Strange barely does anything. He gets his ass kicked. Even when finding that giant octopus from the beginning of the film, he gets his ass knocked out. A lot of times he just gets his ass kicked in this movie. Doctor Strange doesn't barely do anything except that one impalement with a light post on that creature. Uh, then, since he's by himself, well, he's with Rachel. He's with Rachel McAdams. They go to another different universe. Like I said, they only go to like basically two, basically, and what was that? Where he goes and finds his alternate self who has a third eye. And another positive I would say about it is where they're fighting. They have these musical notes you play on you play on a piano. The musical notes brings them to life, and they're fighting against each other using musical notes. To me, I think that was the best fight of the movie. Interesting as well. But then he kills that version eventually, and he gets that book and resurrects that dead body that she pulled from America Chavez pulled from the beginning of the movie, the one that got killed at the beginning. Well, she brought it to their world, and Doctor Strange uses that book to bring him back to life, and him transferred his soul basically into that body, basically. But it's in that fight with him in that universe of theirs. Him finding the ultimate version of himself with a third eye and using the musical notes. That would be, to me, that was like the best fight of the movie. And then he gets a book. He used to possess as that other self of his, like one of them, basically like the Marvel zombie, people are saying. And then Rachel McAdams finds out a few demons that was on their side of the world, of the universe, and used that one thing to shoot fire and destroys a few demons. And then when and all of a sudden now America Chavez is not afraid anymore. She punches Scarlet Witch and transfers to her universe that she wanted to, and lo and behold, the kids are afraid of her, not wanting to hurt their mom, the other version of Wanda. And now she sees the error. She saw the error of her ways. Oh, she wasn't. Oh, I'm a monster. I would never hurt you. I'm not a monster. And yet they're scared of her, and then she sees what she's done, and then she basically commits suicide. Just used her powers and drops the whole the castle or the tower of rocks basically upon her, which is to say that did she really die? Because you didn't see him get fully crushed. So, but maybe the point she's alive somewhere. I have no idea. And then after that, Stephen Strange confesses like how she felt about him in the other universes, and then after the credits were not the Bruce Campbell credit, but Charlize Theron. Yeah, Charlize Theron makes an appearance as Clea, who is in the comics the niece of Dormammu, where after that where he gains a third eye all of a sudden, and she cuts cuts in midair, which is a portal to the dark dimension where Dormammu is. Nice to see Charlize Theron because I like her as an actress, though. Okay, but the film was kind of boring. I mean, like I said, when Wanda kills herself, Doctor Strange doesn't take her out. He doesn't barely do anything. Gets his ass kicked, and then runs away, and it doesn't defeat the villain of this movie. Sadly, the positives, besides the positives like I said about this movie, the trailer, the one piece of end music that was played at the end of the trailer where the title comes in, to me that's kind of like the only semi-scary thing about it. It was that part of the music, of that score, that song. But the film was just boring. It was 2 hours long, didn't need to be 2 hours. The score was forgettable by Danny Elfman, sadly. But the puzzles, like I said, you know. So yeah, Doctor Strange, the multiverse of bullshit. I mean, like I said, I'm done with Marvel. I've been burnt out on Marvel. I thought I'd give this one more chance because I liked the first Doctor Strange film. But after seeing this, no. Once again, my brother thinks I'm full of myself. You know, sadly. I mean, the cast are doing the best they can. Acting wise, they're doing the best they can. Benedict Cumberbatch, but the cast is trying the best they could, acting wise. I don't think we're not funny at all. And I said it's way too. I said it's too long. It should have been cut down a bit more. Um, and the stupid things like with the Illuminati because, like Reed Richards, he blatantly tells Black Bolt's ability, and that's what give. To give no mouth, or. Sorry. Sorry. This one makes me want to fall asleep, I swear. Makes me want to fall asleep. It was that bored, makes me want to fall asleep. But I would say all the cameos which was supposed to be people are going to be very disappointed, like Wolverine or Deadpool or whoever. But I hated this film, and as I said, I'm done with Marvel and especially Disney. Keep on saying Disney, getting mixed up here. I mean, and also that's another big a nitpick I have with it. When Charles Xavier, that's what I want to say. When Charles Xavier appears, when he shows in the vision how his Doctor Strange died, why doesn't Professor Charles Xavier? Why doesn't he look into Doctor Strange's mind to prove how powerful the Scarlet Witch is, and they should be taking this seriously, you know? And I forgot to mention that. Yeah, that's how dumb these people are. Like, this guy's supposed to be this, like, Reed Richards is supposed to be the smartest man alive, but he basically just blatantly gives away Black Bolt's ability, and that's how she was able to kill him that easily. Excuse me. But before all that happened, why didn't Professor X look into Benedict Cumberbatch's mind to see how powerful and dangerous she is, more than the alternate version of himself? I have no idea on that either. I mean, it's basically just a wasted opportunity, basically. They only go to two multiverses. One, then the whole time where we walk on red, or when they meet the Illuminati. And the other one where he goes and meets that other version of himself with a third eye, finding musical notes. So, what else? Sorry, I don't want to make this too long though, but I'm starting to fall asleep. This is what it makes me want to do. This film, I was fine. As soon as I started reviewing this, I was starting to fall asleep. No joke. Oh, but we'll see Mr. Fantastic again in another universe. So that's why one of the movies was to come out. Yeah, right. But, anything else that I know of, I mean, the girl America Chavez, she didn't do much for me. I mean, how did she lost her parents because she got scared by a bee? Scared by a bee. I'm like, you can't be kidding me. Like, you lost your parents, you discovered your powers on your own because you got scared of a bee. Like, I'm not scared of bees. It just reminded me, oh, not the bees, not the bees. But, yeah. Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness. I hate this movie. Like I said, I'm done with Marvel. I'm done with Disney. People just never learn. It's just the whole thing with the girls. Like Wanda's powers, they're so very loosey goose on. She be such powerful. Why doesn't she just make them inside their heads or not? I have no idea on that though. But she does it to do this, and then like how her powers are so powerful, but shit, a woman with a shield gives her trouble. How does that make any sense? Or in Professor X, like, oh, through how powerful she is, that we're supposed to fear her. Yeah, look. Didn't you supposed to look at Doctor Strange's mind so you see how powerful and how many people she killed? And it's fun that her kids, Billy and Tom, which they are the same kids from the show WandaVision, but they're all scared because they see her as a monster, and yeah, that was it. But not after before they leave though. But Doctor Strange tells Rachel McAdams that she loves him, that he loves her in every universe. I mean, it's what I can say. It's over. It's boring. It's too long. Every movie has to be over 2 hours long. The characters making stupid decisions. I mean, and also the jokes I didn't think were funny either. I'm like, oh, Fantastic Four, were you guys charred in the 60s? Or, oh, Spider-Man used to shoot webs out of his butt. So, yeah, I hate this film. I said I'm done with Marvel. I'm done with Disney. And when I saw the trailer for, I mentioned in my trailer for reaction to Steve for the She-Hulk series and everything else, I'm done with Marvel. I don't care about Thor. I don't care about any upcoming ones either, or the TV shows for that matter. And just Doctor Strange, it said he doesn't barely do anything in his own movies. Mostly Scarlet Witch is mostly the star of the movie. And that's sad, you know. And he doesn't defeat the Scarlet Witch. Basically, she just commits suicide, basically, by driving the whole bunch of rocks on her. But yeah, this is a whole. I hated Doctor Strange. I didn't want to. I'm gonna just keep on going on, but I'm going here. I'm stopping. All right. Screw this film. Screw Marvel and Disney. I don't want to see any more. So I know this is I'm trying to make this a long review though, but I try not to. But when you gotta say a whole bunch of things, it makes you feel better about yourself. Besides, like I said, I like the first Doctor Strange. But the thing is, last year, like I said, with Spider-Man No Way Home, which it makes me hate even more now, Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage, Shang-Chi, Black Widow, I hated all of them. And I hate this film too, and the She-Hulk trailer, which even confirms with how much I don't care about doing about the trash and all that stuff. I mean. But anyway, I just keep going on. I don't want to continue about this, but anyway, that's my rant on Doctor Strange and the multiverse of bullshit. Waste opportunity, boring. But thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next movie review and more for Anime Month, and we'll see you all later.